quite frankly, for me, when I hear somebody go, Black people, we are not a monolith. When I hear that, it's kind of like like we're trying to seek the approval of Big Daddy. We want to seek the approval of Big Daddy by going out of our way to distance ourselves from each other. Now, side note, yeah, there are some behaviors and there are some outcomes. There's some things that Black people display that we definitely should put some distance between us and them. But this seems to be a deliberate and desperate attempt for Blacks, especially Black men, not to be associated with other Black folk, no matter the issue. Excuse me. And we are really attempting. When I hear the overemphasis being used, the overemphasis of we are not a monolith in a debate or a discussion, when I hear that and I hear the overemphasis of it, what we're really saying is we are really attempting to send the message, I'm not like them. I'm not like them other niggas. I ain't no regular old nigga because I'm not a monolith. I ain't no regular old nigga. I'm special, Big Daddy. I'm special, Big Daddy. When I hear the overemphasis that we are not a monolith, it's giving, I'm special, Big Daddy.
I must remind you, Django is a free man. He cannot be treated like a slave. Within the bounds of good taste, he must be treated as an extension of myself.
Understood, Schultz. Bettina Sugar?
Yes, sir.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
You want I should treat him like white folks?
No. That's not what I said.
Then I don't know what you want, Big Daddy.
Yes, I can see that. What's the name of that Peckerwood boy from town that works with the glass? His mama work over at the lumber yard.
Oh, you mean Jerry?
That's the boy's name, Jerry. You know Jerry, don't you, Sugar?
Yes, sir, Big Daddy.
Well, that's it then. You just treat him like you would Jerry.
I'm special, Big Daddy. Django ain't no regular old nigga. I ain't no regular old nigga. We are not a monolith. Black folk are not a monolith. This phenomenon of we are not a monolith, this movement is disturbing, it's destructive, and it's dangerous for Black folk to go out of their way to emphasize that we are not a monolith. The consequences of this, of having this kind of movement or having this, promoting this philosophy, the consequences of this can be tragic, not just for one of us, but for all of us. Declaring to the world on a consistent basis that we are not a monolith leaves every one of us on an individual level exposed to the whims of those who have a depraved heart. When the depraved heart knows because we are not a monolith, they understand there will be no consequences of their actions that come with having a depraved heart. Now, the sad truth about Black people, the sad truth that we don't want to say out loud, the quiet part that a lot of us don't want to say out loud, the quiet part that a lot of us don't want to say out loud, is that we crave to be accepted by Big Daddy. So let the world understand we are not a monolith. Hold on to that point for a second. We are not a monolith. Hold on. Hold that for a second. I'm going to take us down a little bit of a side road, but then I'll just bear with me, but I'll circle us back to this. Hold on a second. I just thought about something. In the last 10, 15 years, there's been a shift in the thinking and the mobilization about Black men. Black men historically have voted or aligned themselves with the liberal democratic platform at around about an 85 to 92% clip. But over the last 15 years or so, especially this last 8 years, there's been some sort of exodus of Black men from that platform to a more conservative leaning stance, or some would say a reverting back to. That's what some would say, a reverting back to. I can make the argument that in the last 4 years, like, things with Black men in the conservative movement have reached a fever pitch for Black men attempting to assimilate themselves into conservative spaces. Now, like, the phenomenon of conservative Black men seeking to assimilate into predominantly white conservative movement, like the Tea Party and the Make America Great platform, the MAGA platform, is that's an issue that is absolutely exacerbating the divide between Black men and Black women. Now, I'm going to leave that debate about Black men reverting back to or attempting to assimilate into white conservative spaces. I'm going to leave our argument if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if that's what needs to be done for correction, or I'm going to leave that debate for later. In the coming weeks, I'll be having a discussion on the subject of why Black men have decided that white conservatism is a place that we can pull up to and be embraced with open arms. I'm actually going to have that conversation. I need to explore why Black men want Big Daddy's approval so bad, and why we think white conservatism is Black conservatism. Maybe it is, but I'm gonna have that conversation on this channel, because that's very intriguing to me. The seemingly, like I stated, exodus of Black men from the Democratic Party and them trying to assimilate into predominantly white conservative movements. I find that fascinating. But like I was saying, this trend, we are not a monolith. This trend is driven by I believe a combination of factors, including like an ideological alignment. I think a lot of Black men perceive that there's some benefits of affiliating with the white conservative movement. And I think there's a desire for a lot of Black men to really have some robust political influence within that framework. So while predominantly white conservatives espouses like some of the values that Black men have, Black men seemingly are finding white conservatism very, very appealing. And I believe one of the primary reasons some Black men have gravitated toward the conservative movement, like the Tea Party or the MAGA Party or the MAGA movement, is because many Black men often hold, I guess, what is considered very conservative values that resonate with the principles espoused by white conservatism, such as, like, I guess like, like limited government. A lot of brothers, think about, when they think about limited government, they think about, the first thing they think about is the child support system and how a lot of people are being screwed over in the child support system. Free market capitalism, so a lot of brothers are, all about their money now. The financial freedom and independence has really taken a grip hold on the Black culture, that money has turned into our new god to a degree. I guess I heard a few things about like national defense and stuff like that. And then, but primarily though, we hear a lot of conversations in the white conservative movement about traditional values, traditional social values. And a lot of Black men believe that their traditional values are the same as white conservative traditional values. And I don't necessarily think that's the same. But I'm gonna save that actual nuanced conversation for a different stream in a few weeks, because we gotta have that conversation why Black men are so, like, there's so many Black men, especially here on YouTube, that are championing the white conservative. I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative. Why they're championing and why they're lining up behind them, when there's a possibility that white conservatism and Black conservatism are not the same. They're not aligned, and they are probably diametrically opposed to one another. I don't know. We're going to have that. We're going to take a good look at that conversation. But a lot of Black men, for some reason, they're doing their damnedest to assimilate into that culture. Let me give you a few examples. Herman Cain, God bless the dead, as DJ Hemp says. Herman Cain, it was a prominent Black conservative and a former, he ran for president at one point, and was a strong advocate for the financial or fiscal conservative talking points of the Tea Party. Talked about lower taxes, but I believe it was for like lower taxes for rich people, deregulation, which helps his business. And he really, I guess, aligned with the core principles of the Tea Party movement. Herman Cain rose up very quickly as a symbol, as a symbol or a mascot for the Tea Party. And they held him out as, see, we are, we're not just a white leaning party, but we like the Blacks too. But like I was saying, Herman Cain's rise within the Tea Party was very emblematic of how Black conservative men who align with these values, or the values of white conservatism, they thought that they found a platform within these movements, or an acceptance, or a platform that would accept them in these movements. And despite the predominantly white base of the Tea Party or the MAGA movement, Herman Cain's advocacy for conservative principles seemingly allowed him to gain significant support within the Tea Party movement itself. He wasn't really that active with MAGA, but he was really, really active with the Tea Party movement, especially during his presidential run. And even though, like, Herman Cain's race put him at odds a lot of times with the majority of Black folks, Herman Cain's attitude was very simple. Not all Black people are a monolith.